Alright, here we are, guys, back for Golf Clash tutorial here, hole number 3. Now, what I'm going to do on this hole, I'm just going to use an APOC. Keep in mind that, APOC 5 is going to be the exact same shot that I do. I'm going to basically just hit an APOC 5 shot. You don't really need much club on this, and this will be a very easy hole even with APOC 4, APOC 3. One of the nice things about this course setup is it's not going to really be overly long, so you won't have to worry about your tee shots. So this Masters tournament is going to be very favorable, and as I mentioned, I'm not going to do anything really complicated here at all. I'm not going to really add power, anything like that. I do just a tiny bit of an overplay, so maybe about 10 rings. In this case, for 1.3 per ring is usually, I'll usually do a little bit of curl, well, a lot bit of curl. But as I mentioned, you do want to get, maybe just an extra ring or so on your play, but you can see that it rolls out here, no problem, no issue. Had I hit perfect ball, that would have probably been pretty good. It's still pretty good, regardless, so it doesn't matter. If you have APOC 4, for instance, you're going to have about 6 yards lost there, which is only about a ring. It's very, very, very minimal. 1 ring of overpower is going to be maybe a quarter, a fifth of an apocalypse. So, with only needing to overpower 1 ring, you would barely even need a shaky needle on an APOC 4 to hit that exact same shot that I just hit. The only thing that changes is your ring play changes. But just make sure that you're doing just a little bit of extra. As I mentioned, I forget what the wind was, but let's just say, with my overplay, I'm doing about plus 10%, give or take. I mentioned that I was going to go pretty close to 10 rings there for 10.8. So 10-15% extra. So let's get into this wood case here, which I like to get pretty close to min club if I can. And here you can see there's min club right there, 10.8. We're going to be down here maybe about 10.4 rings. I'll usually try for maybe about into a headwind, maybe about 3 backspin. I still want to make sure that I have, an adequate amount of run out for my shot. So right around 3, you can see that I'm offsetting my guide slightly. And, not even going to go but 10 rings, maybe just a smidge over. Now, I usually have problems getting perfect ball on this hole for whatever reason. I think there's animation issues. And you can see that it looks like I probably still had just a little bit more of an I still had that plus 15% on. That's why. I didn't take my elevation off. It should have only been 8 rings. So I definitely went too far there. That was my fault. I shouldn't have been messing with that percentage, but I wanted to show you guys and I forgot to reset it. So that was my mistake there. I definitely overplayed. You can even sometimes play at minus 5%. It's between 0 and minus 5. I forget my wind, if it was 10 point. You can see that I should have been much closer to maybe 8.6 rings. Somewhere in there, minus 5 or 0. It's going to be somewhere in between there at 8.6 and 9 rings. Should have been relatively pretty spot on. Keep in mind that you'll still have to offset that guide because the wind effect is going to take it, much closer towards the hole, probably about, a green grid and a half or so in that case towards min club. I'm probably going to start to forfeit. Actually, since this is an eagle hole, I'm just going to forfeit out now. So, good luck with that hole, guys. Don't make that same mistake that I did. I wasn't even thinking about, putting in that elevation for some reason when I did that to show you guys the drive. So that was my fault. Good luck with that hole, and I'll catch you guys on hole 4 coming up.